We'll start with the 210,000 Bitcoin that President Trump just mentioned and pull it into a reserve stored in geographically diverse vaults. And that's only the beginning. Over 5 years, the United States will assemble 1 million Bitcoin, 5% of the world's supply.
Right there, that was Cynthia Loomis talking about the potential of a strategic Bitcoin reserve coming. And you can see here in this clip, Eric Trump just posted this on January 2nd. Him and Michael Saylor, two friends, one passion. This is the president of the United States' son. So we could see that Bitcoin strategic reserve happen, especially with Donald Trump knowing what BTC is, knowing the benefits of Bitcoin and how it can help the country. And my name is Aaron from the Bitcoin Bros, back with another Bitcoin MicroStrategy video. We have new content coming out every single day. Make sure to like and subscribe. Have a lot to get into in today's video. Some Bitcoin news, MicroStrategy news. Also going to be getting into a clip at the end of the video, so I highly recommend you check this one out to the end. And we can see here MicroStrategy targeting a $2 billion capital raise of preferred stock. So this is a bit different than some of the other raises that we've seen in the past. Perpetual preferred stock is special because it doesn't have an end date. It can be converted into regular shares. It pays dividends in cash. The company can buy back these shares under certain conditions. This new stock will be ranked higher than the regular stock in terms of priority for dividend payments. The exact terms are not finalized yet, but this is huge. Another $2 billion coming from MicroStrategy. Getting into the details here in a minute, but if we check out the price of MSTR, we're up 13% on Friday, the January 3 close here, up to 340. And it's very interesting. Sentiment changes very fast in the MicroStrategy and Bitcoin world, and we saw that on Friday. A lot of hype around the market. MicroStrategy up 13%. Bitcoin wasn't even up that much, so people were really enjoying Friday for MicroStrategy. And if you made any profits, any gains, congratulations to you. Bitcoin is currently trading at $97,800, looking to potentially break $100,000 next week. And this is MooMoo. You can check them out. If you need to trade MicroStrategy, you can sign up with our affiliate link. When you sign up, you can get up to 15 free stocks valued up to $2,000 each. Basically free money. They have MicroStrategy options. You can just trade the stock itself. They have Bitcoin, any other cryptos. Check it out. MooMoo, the link for that will be in the comment section below. But let's go ahead and get into this $2 billion that MicroStrategy is raising here. So what are they doing? They're raising that $2 billion by issuing preferred stock. So it's basically ownership in a company that pays regular dividends, but it doesn't have voting rights like common stock. Investors get steady dividend payments and priority over regular shareholders, but without any voting power. So why is this exciting for preferred stock investors? Bitcoin exposure without buying Bitcoin. Investors can benefit from MicroStrategy's Bitcoin strategy without actually owning any Bitcoin. Steady dividends. The preferred stock gives regular dividend payments. Potential for big gains. The stock includes an option to convert into MicroStrategy shares, which could lead to big gains if Bitcoin and MicroStrategy stock continue to perform well. And then what does this mean for MicroStrategy shareholders? No dilution of voting power. Unlike issuing new common stock, this raises capital without affecting existing shareholders' control. Boosts Bitcoin per share. So obviously they're buying more Bitcoin. This is accretive, getting more BTC per your share of MicroStrategy. Increased financial flexibility. The $2 billion raised fuels Bitcoin acquisitions without adding traditional debt. That is huge. So you're not even adding any debt with raising this money here. This will be targeting pension funds, insurance companies, and also banks. And remember, the insurance companies have been big customers of the MicroStrategy convertible debt. So Saylor knows what these insurance companies want. So they probably came to him and said, hey, can we get some of this preferred stock? And now he's offering that and potentially raising $2 billion to buy more Bitcoin, increase the BTC per share, and you can see it doesn't even affect things like the traditional debt, and it also doesn't affect voting power, which is huge. Then I saw this question, which I was also thinking about: where does MicroStrategy expect to get the cash flow to service the dividend payments? That was one of the most attractive parts of the 0.625 and 0% notes. The servicing costs were quite low as their cash flow is extremely limited. And from Ben Workman, he says they'll be rolling off some converts, and they also did a major restructure last quarter, reducing costs in the operating company. Something like 300 layoffs plus retirement of the second note. They had a lot of one-time costs associated with these events. They'll be just fine. So Saylor coming in again with this intelligent leverage. And he's just showing his brilliance here again with being able to raise cash from the traditional markets and bring it into the Bitcoin ecosystem. And if this is successful, we're going to see all these other companies, Marathon, all these other Bitcoin proxies, they're going to be potentially raising capital in the same way to buy more Bitcoin. And then from Jeff Walton here, he's tracking the EPS for MicroStrategy. Obviously, we know FASB accounting is going to be coming, but as you can see right here, on January 1st, Bitcoin was at $93,600. Now we're on $98,277. Obviously, we're come down a little bit since then. And the estimated quarter one net income for MicroStrategy currently is $2.08 billion. Fully diluted quarter one earnings per share is $7.42. MicroStrategy price $340. Trailing 12-month FASB PE ratio is 6.92. So you can see earnings per share is growing, and you can see the net income is at $2 billion. That's huge. We'll see what Bitcoin's price does over the next quarter, and that's definitely going to be good for MicroStrategy if Bitcoin continues to go up. And we know we need 4 quarters of profitability to get included in the S&P 500 index. So we definitely need to pay attention to this very closely to see if MicroStrategy will qualify for that potentially next year. And then let's go ahead and get into some Bitcoin news from Tom Lee here. He's saying people are too discouraged as stocks have flailed for the past 3 weeks. He thinks this is still a buy the dip market, a lot of macro in the coming weeks. Tailwinds building since early 2024, still intact. So he thinks right now is a great time to buy the dip. We know Tom Lee is bullish on Bitcoin, so he's basically telling you to buy some more Bitcoin there while we're still below the all-time high. And then we have an investment bank, H.C. Wainwright, raises their Bitcoin price target to $225,000 this year from $140,000. That would be pretty huge if we get $225,000 this year for Bitcoin. Imagine where MicroStrategy could go with that price point for Bitcoin. I think we'll see some huge gains potentially. And then talk about Similar Scientific a bit. Their existing 2,084 Bitcoin would be worth $469 million. Assuming they are able to get 6,000 Bitcoin this year, in the below scenario that was stacked would be worth $1.3 billion. Apply whatever multiple you deem appropriate to the Bitcoin holdings. Add the value of the core business. Market cap today is $500 million. So if you have a 3x multiple on your $1.3 billion, that puts Similar at around a $4 billion market cap company. And the market cap today is $500 million. So you can see that will be at 8x this year if all that plays out with a multiple NAV of around 3x. And then the Bitcoin ETFs coming back in. BlackRock bought 2,500 Bitcoin on Friday. That is huge. And Fidelity bought 3,600 Bitcoin on Friday as well. So the ETFs coming back in. We had some outflows and just not buying pressure over the past couple of weeks, but you can see that the ETFs are finally starting to buy again there. And then from Dennis Porter, he's saying that he can confirm that at least 13 states are working on strategic Bitcoin reserve legislation. I know we had 3 states, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Texas, but we may have more states coming very, very soon in January. Definitely would be good for Bitcoin and the price of BTC going forward. And I just want to leave you guys with a clip from Van Eck. Check it out. Pretty interesting. And if you made it this far, thank you for watching all the way to the end of the video. What do you think about this MicroStrategy preferred stock raise? Are you excited? Are you buying more MicroStrategy right now? Are you buying Bitcoin? Put all your thoughts in the comment section below. Appreciate you watching all the way to the end. Let's go ahead and get into this clip. Like and subscribe for more content. I'm out. Let's go ahead and check out this clip here.
Yeah, it's a non-U.S. asset. It's an emerging markets asset. And while we were all hyperventilating about the election over the last week, BRICS had a conference in Russia. There's 6 new members of BRICS this year. So BRICS GDP is now greater than the combined GDP of G7. Of the 6 new members, 3 of them, Argentina, the UAE, and Ethiopia, are now mining Bitcoin with government resources. So there is tremendous urgency outside of the U.S. to find a way to circumvent the irresponsible fiscal policy that we've been running here in the U.S. In fact, Russia announced an initiative. Their sovereign wealth fund is going to invest in a regional initiative to build Bitcoin mining and AI infrastructure throughout BRICS with an idea of settling global trade in Bitcoin. So look, someday, I don't know if it's 5 years, 10 years, Putin's going to die. We're going to look to reintegrate some of these countries into the world financial system, and they're going to be trading with Bitcoin. What are we going to be doing?